Hey there, welcome to LSea Yoga. My name is Laura, and today's practice is called Breath of Joy. It's a flowing and playful practice that taps into that happy place inside that's joyful for no particular reason at all. We're going to start today in seated. So come into a comfortable seat, simple cross-legged. You can lay one leg in front of the other. You can do a half lotus if you want, if your leg is okay with that, or you can sit in traditional cross-legged. Whatever's comfortable. I tend to sit in half lotus just because it feels better on my knee and my ankle. So find your comfortable seat and kind of rock forward so your sit bones go out behind you. Sit up tall. We're just going to do a quick seated flow before we get into the rest of it. And what we're about to do is called Circle of Joy. So just kind of check in. Close the eyes just for a moment. And just start to deepen the breath. Take a few big sighing breaths in through the nose and out through an open mouth. Let the shoulders drop when you do that. Maybe sway side to side, loosen up the spine. On your next inhale, bring your hands together around the spine and just stretch your arms out as far as they go. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers and press your palms out in front of you. Inhale, reach the arms up, keep those fingers interlaced, little back bend. And then exhale, release the arms and bring them behind you and interlace your fingers back there. Inhale, stretch the arms long. Stretch the shoulders, little back bend. And then exhale, release. Same thing again. Inhaling, palms together, arms out in front. Exhale, interlace the fingers, press the palms. Go slow. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale to release, bring them behind you, interlace. Inhale, stretching the arms long. And exhale, release. It's good, right? One more time. Inhale, round the spine, arms go forward. Exhale, interlace and press. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, release. Interlace behind you. Inhale, stretch it. And exhale, release. Bring the palms to the knees and just wiggle the spine. Get those shoulders warmed up a little. And with that, we're just going to jump right into a downward dog. So hands about shoulder distance apart, feet hip width. Press the hips up toward the sky as you press your fingertips into the ground. Working those heels toward the ground, but they don't have to touch. Knees can be bent. Maybe bending one knee and then the other. Move around in your downward dog. Especially this first one. Haven't done a ton of movement yet, so just start to rock around. Find what needs to be stretched. Maybe press the chest through the shoulders. Grip the mat with your finger pads. And if you don't want to move around, that's okay too. Maybe just find a little stillness before we start to flow. Now step one foot to the front of the mat and then the other. Halfway lift with your fingertips on the ground or the shins. And then fold into a forward fold. Bending the knees, tilting the sit bone up toward the sky. Big breaths. Bend the knees a little more and come on up to stand. Reach the arms out to the side and up. And bring them into prayer in front of the heart. Close the eyes just for a breath or two. And we'll begin. Inhale, sweep the arms out to the side and up. Exhaling, bend the knees, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale, crown of the head reaches forward. And exhale, step your left foot back into a lunge. Leave the back knee off the ground, reach the arms out to the side and up. Come up, high lunge. Take a couple of breaths here. Press the chest up and away from that back foot. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, twist toward the right and open your arms up into a T shape. Nice twist. Big breath here. And then come on back to center. Reach it up. This time turn toward the left, so you're going to open up into a warrior two, so your back heel lowers. Taking it slow in this first round, reach the arms back up, lift the back heel, you're back in high lunge. Coming forward, bring the left hand down by your front foot, right arm goes up to the sky and drop the hips. Nice big open twist. We're going to take a couple of breaths here and just let those hips open up. And then bring that right hand down by your front foot and step forward. With a long spine, reach the crown forward and then fold it in. Inhaling to come on up to stand, reach up, get tall. And exhale back to center. We'll take that to the other side. Inhale, sweep the arms up high. Exhaling, come on back down. Inhale, getting long, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps back this time, heel up, come on up, high lunge. Deep breath in. And stay here for 2 breaths. Press that right hip forward. And then on your next exhale, twisting toward the left, open the arms up. Come on back to center, reach it up, high lunge. And then exhale, turn toward the right, open up warrior two, so your back heel is lowered. Let the hips get a little heavy here. On your next inhale, turn toward the front, coming back into high lunge. And then exhale, bring your right hand down this time, left arm up. Maybe heel toe your left foot out toward the left a little if that helps. Let the hips get heavy, press down through that bottom hand to lift up through your top hand. Maybe a little back arch. Feel free to move around if that feels better. And then swim that hand forward. Come back to the front of the mat, reaching the crown of the head long and folding it in. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And just keep turning that tailbone up toward the sky. Let that be what starts to straighten your legs. They can be as deeply bent as they need to be. And then on your next inhale, come on up to stand, reaching up. And then exhale back to center. Now we're going to do that same sequence, 1 breath per movement. Get a little bit warmed up. So inhale, sweep it up. Maybe arch a little. And exhale, fold it forward. Inhale with a long spine. Exhale the left foot back. Inhale, come on up, high lunge. And exhale, twist toward the right. Inhale it back to center. Reach up. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale back to a lunge. And exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Stay here for an inhale. And then exhale, bring that hand down and step forward, forward fold. Inhale to come on back up to stand. And exhale, hands in prayer. Other side, inhaling, reach up. And exhale and fold. Moving slow, inhale, reach the crown of the head forward. And exhale the right foot back. High lunge coming up, deep breath in. Deep breath out, twist toward the left. Inhaling, sweeping it back up. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, high lunge, pressing the chest away from back foot. And exhale, right hand down, left arm up. Hips drop. Stay here for your inhale. And then exhale, coming back to the front of the mat and fold. Inhaling, coming back up to stand. And exhale, back to center. One more time each side. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale and fold. Inhaling, reaching forward. Move as if you're in slow motion. Exhale, left foot back. Inhaling, come on up, high lunge. Exhaling to twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Staying here, deep breath in. And exhale, coming forward, fold it deep. Inhale, coming up, reach up. And exhale, return. Keep it flowing. Inhale, reach it up. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, getting long. Exhaling the right foot back, heel up, high lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling and twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, come on back. And exhale the right hand down, left arm up. Deep breath in. Press down with that right hand. And as you exhale, coming forward and bow. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhale, return. Now close the eyes. And just feel that, the warmth that you created. Opening the eyes, we'll step out with the right foot into a wide-legged stance and take a wide-legged forward fold. So bring your hands to your hip, reach the chest up toward the sky, and then start to fold forward from your hip joints. Now bring your feet as close together as they need to be. If your knees need to be deeply bent, that's okay. They'll keep them as bent as they need to be. Press the hands into the ground. Big breath. So you turn that tailbone up toward the sky. And let that be what starts to lengthen and straighten the knees. Couple more breaths here, just hanging out, getting heavy. And then walk the fingertips forward as you come into a flat back. And bend into the right knee. Just to get a nice side bend or a side lunge here. A nice little stretch in the inner thigh. Couple of breaths. Stick your booty out behind you. And then come on back to center. Take that to the other side. And come back to center and fold forward again. Pressing the hands into the ground. You might notice you're a little more open the second time around. And then walk the hands forward again. This time we're going to bend into the left knee. We're going to come all the way down into Skandasana. So lift the heel up to start, and you may stay there on the ball of the foot. Be very gentle with your knee. And if that feels good, you may want to stay right there, or maybe the heel comes to the ground. And here you can place the hands into prayer, or reach your left fingertips out toward the left, and your right arm up toward the sky. Find your variation. You can also place your right hand onto your right thigh. That may help the twist. Or if you have binding in your practice, you may want to turn the left thumb down, wrap that arm around the knee. Do the same with your right hand, and then bring those fingertips together, twisting toward the right. Just let the hips get heavy and open up. Wherever you are, release, press the palms into the ground, lift the hips up just a little so you can walk the hands over toward the left foot and frame that foot, and then bring your left knee down so you're in a low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Place your hands on your thigh and come on up. Press the left or the right hip forward. And here you can keep your hands on the front thigh or lift the arms up. Letting the hips get heavy, keep pressing that right hip forward. Press your chest up and away from your back toes that are pressing into the ground. And maybe your right hand reaches back. Left hand reaches back for your right thigh. I don't know what's going on with left and right today. Press your chest up. No crunching in the lower back. So come up out of the back bend if it feels like too much. Couple more breaths here. And then bring both hands down by that front foot. Curl those back toes under, or if they're not already, and lift your hips up, and we'll come into a pyramid pose. So again, keeping that front knee as bent as it needs to be in this forward fold. So you're not rounding the spine. So if it's very bent, that's fine. Could be almost close to a lunge. And pull your hips back, pressing the toes into the ground. Hips go back and away from that. And just breathe into the underside of left leg. Now bend into that front knee, and we're going to take a revolved triangle. So your right fingertips stay on the ground. Place your left hand on your left thigh and twist toward the left. And then reach your left arm up. Stay right there, or start to pull your hip back and away. Start to straighten that leg. Should feel a significant stretch on the outer hip. So only straighten the leg as much as you feel like you can. If your fingertips are bothering you, you might want to bring your fist to the ground or your palm. Breathe, pulling that hip back, pressing the front foot into the ground. And then release, walking the hands toward the center again so you're back in that wide-legged forward fold. And then just bend it forward, fold it in. And we'll take that to the other side. So walking the hands forward, bending into the right knee this time, on the ball of the foot, coming all the way down, hip to heel. Be gentle with that knee. Maybe your hip or your heel comes to the ground, maybe not. Hands can be in prayer, reaching the right fingertips out, left arm up. Maybe you press your left hand into left thigh. Or if you want to bind, turn those thumbs down to rotate your shoulders inward. And then grab a hold of fingertips and twist toward the left. One more big breath here. And then release wherever you are. Lift the hips just a little, enough to turn toward the right leg and lower the back knee. Anjaneyasana on this side. So bring the hands to the front thigh, pressing the left hip forward this time. Just letting that get good and stretched out, that hip flexor. Maybe the arms reach up. This time it really is that right hand coming back for the left thigh. Maybe. And press your chest up and away from the back toes. Just breathe and open. And then coming forward, bring your hands down by that front foot. Lift the back knee. Maybe step that foot in a little so you can take pyramid on this side. Keep the knee as bent as it needs to be. And I think no matter how flexible you are, start with a bent knee. Press your foot into the ground and then pull your hip back and away from that. So there's a long line from your foot to your hip, and they're pressing away from each other. Meanwhile, the crown of your head is going forward. So the spine is super long and parallel to the floor. Breathe into that back leg and make every breath expand your right leg. Now everyone bend into that front knee. Leave your left fingertips where they are. Maybe your back heel comes up. Place your right hand on your right thigh and twist toward the right. Right arm goes up. You can also leave your hand maybe on your hip or your thigh if reaching it up doesn't feel good on your shoulder. Start to pull your hip back and let that straighten your leg, or start to straighten it. Stretching the outer leg and outer hip. Find a hand variation with a fist or a palm if that feels better. And then release that. Walk the hands back towards center. This time keep walking all the way over so you place your hands down and come into a downward dog. Breathe in downward dog. Now step your right foot forward into a lunge. Place your heel down in the back and come on up, warrior two. A little more standing pose flow, and then we'll get into the hips. So the hips get heavy here in warrior two. And on your next inhale, place your left hand down, right arm up. Peaceful warrior or reverse warrior. Side bend toward the left. Coming forward, bring your elbow to the front knee and reach the left arm overhead. Don't lean into that. You can leave your elbow there on your front knee or bring your hand to the inside of the leg, and you're really pressing your elbow into that knee to twist you up toward the sky. And then releasing, coming back to reverse warrior. And then place the hands down by the front foot, step back, downward dog. And let's take that to the other side. So left foot forward, back heel lowers, warrior two. Let the hips get heavy in warrior two. Front thigh does not have to be parallel to the ground. Do what feels comfortable. And then sweep it into your reverse warrior. And coming forward, side angle. If your elbow's on your knee, don't sink down, right? So press down to lift up out of that shoulder. Or bring the hand to the inside of the foot. Fingertips just barely touch. And then come back up, reverse warrior. And then all the way down into downward dog. Coming forward into a plank, lower the hips, stay on the toe mounds for an upward dog. Just releasing those hip flexors we've been working on. And then pull back, down dog. Inhaling to lift the right foot up toward the sky. And bend the knees, stack the hip. Draw the knee in toward the chest and then step it all the way into a lunge. Press the fingertips into the ground as you lower the hips, chest up, low lunge. And pressing the hands into the ground, come back into a one-legged dog, hip open, knee up toward the sky. Take a deep breath in here. We're going to do that 2 more times. Exhaling to step forward. And then inhaling to reach up, knee up. One more time, stepping it forward and up. This time, staying where you are, you're going to come forward into a plank. Now, if you don't want to do wild thing, stay right here or stay in downward dog in that 3-legged dog. If you're coming with me, flip over, putting your right foot behind you, flex your left, and reach your arm up overhead, hips go up toward the sky. Wild thing it up. Breathe. One more breath. And then return down dog. And we'll do that the other side. Inhaling the left foot up this time. Knee up as you open the hip. Knee goes straight up toward the sky. Knee in toward the chest. Step it forward. Drop the hips. Low lunge. Press the hands down. Come back to where you were. Deep breath in here. And exhale. Step it forward. Inhaling. Up. Exhaling forward. Inhaling, coming back up. Stay here this time, and then coming forward into a plank. Left foot behind, hips up, left arm up and overhead. Wild thing. I had a teacher who used to call this rock star. I think I prefer that. And then coming back to center, downward dog. Breathe in here. Now this time lift your right foot up toward the sky. Step it forward into a lunge. And we're just going to step into a seated spinal twist. So sit down, bring your left foot, or your right foot is on the outside of your left knee. Right knee going straight up toward the sky. Fingertips like a post behind you, getting tall. Wrap your arm around that knee and twist from the belly button toward the right. Inhaling to get tall. Exhaling to twist. And then release that. Take a nice little counter twist in the other direction. And then we'll release into double pigeon. Now, if your knees are bothering you, you may want to either skip this, or if that lower knee doesn't feel good, stick that foot straight out and support the right. The knees are feeling good. Stack your knees and your ankles, flexing the feet. And then scoot the hips out behind you so you can start to tilt forward, pressing the fingertips behind. Press your chest forward. If that doesn't feel like much, you can bring the hands forward. And just start to get heavy and let gravity do its thing. If you want to add a twist here, you can bring your right elbow to the arch of that right foot. Hands in prayer, twist toward the left. Wherever you are, close your eyes for the last couple of breaths. Relax the jaw and the eyebrows. And let that right hip open up. And then coming back up, cross the legs, press the hands down and step back, downward dog. This time lifting the left foot up. Reach it up. And step it forward into a lunge. And then your right knee this time coming behind that left heel and sit down. Seated spinal twist. Your left knee is going straight up toward the sky. Wrap the arm around. Press your left fingertips behind and sit tall. So your shoulders are sort of regal. Your chest up twisting from the belly button. Inhaling to get long. Exhaling to twist. Drop your shoulders down, so let your shoulder blades go down your back. Last breath here. And then coming back and doing counter twist. Counter twist seems like the best part sometimes. And we'll take our double pigeon. So again, if that bottom knee is not feeling good, just stick that foot straight out in front of you. And if your knee is floating, if you're stacking your ankles and your knees, and this one's floating, you may want to put something in between. Pressing your fingertips behind, chest forward. Close the eyes again here and just start to get heavy. And if you want to add that twist, left elbow, arch of the left foot, hands in prayer, and then press down to lift up and twist. And release that, cross the legs, press the palms down and come back into your downward dog. This time inhaling the left foot up and exhale to step it forward. And lower the back knee, and then we're going to walk the hands over toward the right so that you're in this kind of funky position. So your right knee is on the ground, left foot, your heel is on the ground, toes up. Your hip is open toward the left. I'm going to take a camel variation, but first, side bend toward the left. So walk your left hand down your left leg. Could be up here, that's okay. And press your right armpit away from your left foot. Side bend toward the left. If you're lucky, you'll get a nice little pop like I just did. Breathe in here. And then come on up. Now start to curl your tailbone forward. And you can do that by sticking your butt out behind you, curl the tailbone, and then press the hips forward. So your lower back's nice and long. Bring your hands to your hips and keep pressing those hips forward and your chest up. So it's a camel variation. Press your chest up toward the sky. And you can stay here with your hands on your hip, or you may want to bring your right hand to your right heel, but only do that if you know that you can do that without straining your back. Left hand can stay on the hip, or maybe reach up overhead. Keep pressing the hips forward. Maybe the left hand comes behind the head. Camel pose, chest up, hips forward, zero crunching in the lower back. And then wherever you are, come on up. Walk the left foot in and step it back, downward dog. And we'll do that same thing other side. So right foot up and step it into a lunge. Lower the back knee and then walk your hands over toward that knee. Open your hips so your right toes go up toward the sky. Heel is pressing into the ground. Right hand down, left arm up, side bend toward the left, and or toward the right. You're twisting your chest up toward the sky. Pressing the left armpit away from right foot. Couple more breaths here. And then coming back up. Hands to the hips, same thing. Press the hips forward, chest up. And if this is enough, stay right here. You can even maybe press your hands into your lower back to back bend a little more. And if it's in your practice, your left hand can come to your left heel, pressing the hips forward, chest up, and maybe your right arm goes up overhead. Coming back up, walk your right foot in. And this time we're going to bring our feet together and roll down to take a seat. Press the bottoms of the feet together, knees out to the side, and rock the hips so those sit bones go out behind you. Take a Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Your heels can be as close to or as far away from your hips as you'd like. Press the chest forward, maybe your fingertips behind to help you tilt. If your body lets you in, maybe your hands come forward, close the eyes. And don't worry about what it looks like. Just press the chest away from the hips and let gravity do its thing. Now you may find that your edge moves, right? So if you start to not feel much, just lean forward a little more. Again, pressing your chest forward so that lower back stays long. And then we'll come on up to sit. Stretch your legs out in front of you for a Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. Start with the knees bent, and again, walk those hips back so you're turning your tailbone back. Bring your hands to the shins or the floor, maybe even the feet. Press that chest forward. A lot of times in forward folds, I see beginners doing this. We're rounding, trying to get the nose toward the knee, and that's not the goal here. Bend the knees and press the chest forward. And that's where you get the high quality stretch, because when you do this, there's no stretch in the back of the leg. But it does pull the back, and we don't want to do that. So keep those knees as bent as they need to be. Couple more breaths here, closing the eyes. And then hands walking up, scoot the hips forward, roll down onto your back and draw your knees in toward your chest. And let your feet flow up to the sky. Bend into your left knee and bring that foot to the floor. And then bend your right knee deeply and grab a hold of the outside of your right foot. And we're going to take a twist. So roll onto the outside of your left hip and your right arm goes out toward the right. Keep your knee as bent as it needs to be as you draw your right leg over toward the left. You can be very bent here. Just start to press that leg long, and your hip is working away from that foot. Breathe and just let that open, even letting gravity help you out here. If that feels like too much on your outer hip, you can take a figure 4 shape, maybe thread the needle, grab a hold of your left shin, flexing your right foot. If you're twisting, take a couple more breaths here. And then come on back to center. Draw the knees in toward the chest. Maybe rock around a little. Massage the lower back. And take the other side. Feet up to the sky. Just for a couple of breaths. Nice little stretch there. And then bring your right foot down to the ground. Bend into your left knee. Thought I'd get that eventually, but apparently not. Grab a hold of the outside of your left foot and start to roll over toward the right. Press your left foot out toward the right, drawing your hip away from that. You should feel this awesome stretch in the outer leg and hip. Close your eyes and breathe. And again, you can thread the needle if that feels better. Both shoulders are on the ground. And if that's not happening, you may want to bring your foot up a little or place something under your knee to make that happen. But again, your knee can be as bent as it needs to be. Wherever you are, release, coming back to center, and bring your feet about the width of the mat, and then knock your knees together. Just to release a little bit, or you can windshield wipe your knees back and forth. Now stretch the legs long, feet about the width of the mat, feet flopping open, palms open to the sky. Snuggle your shoulders under, get comfortable. Shavasana. Take a relaxation. Give yourself this moment where there's nothing to do and nowhere to go. Let everything just sink down, get heavy. Take the time to let your body integrate what it learned. Release the breath, let it do whatever it wants. And if your mind wanders, starts to think about the next thing that you have to do, bring it back to the body. Don't let it leave yet. And let it work on relaxing the muscles down. You can stay here as long as you like, absorbing this energy. And when you're ready, start to draw your knees in toward the chest. Give them a squeeze. And then make your way up to sit. Find a comfortable seat, simple cross-legged, half lotus. Backs of the hands to the knees, close the eyes. All yoga makes me happy, but there's just something about this flow that opens the heart to joy, to find that place inside that's always happy for no particular reason at all. Thanks for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed today's class. And if you did, please consider subscribing and maybe throw me a comment on this video and tell me what you thought. And if you check out the For You section of my channel page, you're probably going to find another video that you like if you liked this one. If you're a beginner, look for the beginner series. That's one of my playlists that you'll find also on my channel. And if you're not a beginner, if you've been doing yoga for a while, you're going to find lots of stuff here that will take you from fitness to relaxation and everything in between. So I hope to see you again. Thanks so much.